Principle number 3, we are completely not a big deal. Look at verse 7. Verse 7 says, neither he who plants nor he who waters is anything, but only God who gives the growth. Now, what this doesn't mean is that you should go up to Pastor Roger and point your finger in his face and says, God told me you're not anything. Okay, he doesn't need to hear that. He already has people telling him that. He doesn't need to hear anybody else. It doesn't mean go up to Brian. It doesn't mean go to me, write me a letter, and tell me all the ways that I am a nothing. Okay, that's not what this text means. In fact, you want to put in your notes, 1 Thessalonians chapter 5. 1 Thessalonians 5, 12 and 13 says, respect those who labor among you and are over you in the Lord and admonish you, talking about church leaders, and esteem them very highly in love. Why? Because of their work. And there's the difference. Not their personalities, not because they give you a warm fuzzy, not because they're such good speakers, but because of their work in the ministry. And do you know why the Lord wants us to focus on the work instead of the worker? Because when you focus on the work instead of the worker, you're positioned to see God in the work through the worker. And that's what we need to see. That's the kind of encouragement people need. And it's not just church leaders, it's any volunteer, it's anyone out there in the marketplace. If you're trying to live your life in your job for the glory of God, you don't need just generic encouragement. You need encouragement that says, God really ministered to me through you. Best encouragement I receive is, God really blessed me through your sermon today. God really blessed me through the music today. God really He changed the life of my little boy through this children's ministry. You're looking for God in the work through the worker, because the truth of the matter is, if you want freedom to serve and you want freedom from this trap of comparing yourself to other people, then you got to remember and digest this truth. We are just really completely not a big deal. God could use anybody. He can raise up anybody and put them where you are to do what you're doing. It's not about us necessarily. It's about what God has us doing. We serve, why? To build faith. Faith in who? Not us, but in the Lord. I think the best way to think about it is in terms of a musical instrument. And maybe some of you are not musicians, but you'll hopefully track with the illustration. Has this ever happened to you where you go to Guitar Center or someplace, and you're kind of playing on the guitar, and you set that guitar up, and you go get another guitar, probably the most expensive one, because you think it'll make you better if you play the most expensive one. So you're playing the $3,000 guitar, and then someone comes into the room and picks up the guitar that you just put up. They pick it up, and they make it sound like a bird. I mean, a beautiful bird, an amazingly beautiful bird. It just makes it sound so beautiful. And you look at them, and you envy, and you kind of get a little bit upset. And if you're me, you walk out of the room and cry and all that stuff. But now, here's the point. What happened there? The instrument itself did not all of a sudden become more valuable or more significant. The instrument was perceived to be more valuable, more significant, because it was in the hands of the master. Do you see that? Our significance is not necessarily attached to us, who we are, our machinery, our physical bodies, our personality, our makeup. The significance comes when we put ourselves in the hands of the master and allow him to, through us, minister to other people. We're just really not a big deal. We're significant, yes. It's important. I'm not saying any of those things. What I'm saying is give attention to where attention is due. God gives the growth. We're completely dependent on him. We are completely not a big deal.